everyone. We are back in the Glam on Demand studio with Natalie. So we've talked a lot about like who Natalie is, what she does. We talked about a niche and why it's important and what it is. We talked about scarcity mindset. We talked about so many things. But what I want to get down to is what images that you should use on social media to, further your brand.
I feel like you keep giving me these crazy loaded questions, and I feel like Nicole did not get all these loaded questions.
They're just what I'm coming up with.
I do think it sucks because I feel like I'm going to be talking very vaguely, but the images you should use should speak to the kind of client you want to work with. I think they should be really focused on that ideal client, and they should be consistent. Also be inclusive. Like, I think you should have a big range of different types of people and ages and genders and races to showcase for a portfolio piece and on your social media and on your website. I do think like playing around and looking up things about what your target audience is important. I feel like, for instance, for you, it would be like, obviously like natural glam, someone that wants natural glam that's getting married. Okay, but like, let's go even deeper, right? Like what price point do you want to be at? You're more of a luxury brand. I would say you're like affordable luxury, but more luxury. So like, we would want a client that also wants luxury. Well, where do those luxury clients shop? What do they eat? Where do they go? Where do they live? Because you hit up like a pretty big territory too on the East Coast, and you continue to keep expanding and expanding. So like thinking about like what city that luxury client lives in, what do they drive, what kind of colors are they attracted to, what are they wearing, what are they looking for in artists. All of that helps you to determine what images go on social media. And I know so many people are like, well, how do I get these images? Which come from like doing trade for print and creating the content on your own and creating that experience. But I think so much can be told from a picture. And it's all of those small details, not even just the makeup. Even sometimes it's the makeup you use, right? Like if you're showcasing and tagging e.l.f. Cosmetics, which is not a bad thing, you probably won't get that client that spends Chanel money. Because then they're like, I wear Chanel at home and I'm watching my makeup artist pull out e.l.f. You'll get two different clients.
Totally, I agree with that. I actually want to, real quick kind of sidebar about social media and what platforms to use. You mentioned having a website, super important. Mm-hmm. I hate TikTok, personally. I'm old, it's fine. But I can't get with it. How does somebody decide for their business what's going to work for them?
I think it goes back to your target audience and where your target audience lives. I don't have Twitter. I haven't since Elon Musk bought it. But also, like, I just don't think my brand is on Twitter anyways. I used it for like fun and chaos. But I am on TikTok, and I get a lot of digital success on TikTok. I find a lot of really great models on TikTok. I think brands are really searching for people on TikTok, which is great. Instagram, I feel like I find a lot of clients. Instagram and Facebook are like this, so like, I mean, my stuff is just shared to Facebook, but my target audience and my target brand isn't really on Facebook. They're on Instagram and on TikTok. But I find so many people, especially production work, they find me from my website. Google is still the strongest social media tool we have out there. Or I should say it's like a search engine, and your website is one of the only things you really like. I guess you don't even own your website because you borrow it from a hosting agency, but you have a little more control on your website. So I feel like the website is so important. It also makes you look really professional, right? Like looking for that luxury client. It sets you apart from like the $35 faces on Instagram. It makes you also look busier. It looks like you have your shit together, all of those kind of things. So yeah, I think it's just really finding what kind of client you want and where they are, and putting your money and your energy into those platforms.
Awesome. how about social media habits? Like, how often should I post? Where, we talked about where, because technically that would fall into the last question, but like, talk to me about social media habits.
Yeah, so for social media habits, I'm like really big on consistency. And what I mean by that is, does not mean to post every day. It means to post when you say you're going to post. Like, for instance, I already know your YouTube is every single Sunday. So I already know that I'm going to go on a Sunday and there's going to be a new video. That is so important to get people hooked and want them to watch the next ones, or be able to scroll and know that things are coming next. So if you say weekly Sundays, like TikTok is notorious for this, and the best TikTok creators blow up from this, is like, they'll be like day 5 of learning to speak Spanish. And it's like, I already know if it's day 5, then I got like 30 more days, or whatever, 25 more days left of the month of learning with them to speak Spanish, or like whatever it is. So I do think that's like really important. It's like that strong call to action, like letting your client know what you want them to do next and where to find you, and then do it. Be consistent, follow through with it. Posting every day is really tough, so like commit to what you say you're gonna do, and you can kind of always revise it, but also with that call to action, like letting them know where they can find you next and when.
Most definitely. So just to kind of wrap up like our series of videos together.
You can find me on TikTok. Just
clearly. No, but seriously, like where, I can't even like talk right now. Where do you see yourself next, I guess? And what else do you want to tell the artists out there that are like getting started? Like, what's important to you?
Yeah, I see myself doing a lot of creative direction. I really want to go into a place where I'm like full control in what I'm producing, which I already am in like a place where I'm doing a lot of that now. So I want to combine my marketing agency with my artistry and kind of do like a lot of creative direction for brands. So I want to see the vision from the start to the finish. So yeah, that's kind of like my goal. And for newer artists, I would say reach out to people. Like, reach out to those photographers you want to work with. Reach out to makeup artists that you enjoy and you love their work and you see their passion and you want to learn from them, but provide value to them first. They work their asses off in their careers. A lot of us have been beaten down so many times. And investing in someone else requires a lot out of us. So if you want to reach out to a more tenure artist, like, give value. I'll never forget this email from this girl. She's a New York artist that wanted to work with me, and her email was so beautiful. I wasn't like in need of assistance at that time, but she provided so much value in her email and was like willing to do so much that it was just like, I think I have the email saved still, because I was like, well, when I'm ready, this is who I'm going to call. So I think that's really important, like providing value first.
Most definitely. I agree. Well, thank you, Natalie. We appreciate you.
Yes.
And you might see her on one of our next projects. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.